always ready.
Hey everybody, welcome back to Starfyre Gaming. I'm Sir Joseph and this is Warhammer 40k Rouge Trader. We just got out of the arena and have to go back and report back to that guy that sent us to the arena and see if we can get him to release Cassia to us.
Shall stand in my way.
Dead guys piled all over the place. This place is... They did a good job with this place. The rising currents carry the smell of pain, blood, ichor, and failed ambitions. The smell of the dark city. With my wings flung open, I have weaved a path through the spire like a dark lightning bolt, chaotic and unpredictable in its patterns. To fly is to hunt, and everyone in flight hunts everyone else. Even I, Scourge Garthyrit Bloodfeather, do not have the privilege of inviolability around these parts. I may become someone else's prey, except probably not today. Today, I am the hunter. My homunculus modified olfactory perceptors pick up the scent of my prey, and I tread cautiously as I approach it. The stench of Monkey is foul but varied, and the scent of my prey is quite telling. A powerful specimen, brash and reeking of the blood of others. I descend to the minaret that grows out of the nearest spine and provides me with an excellent view. Accelerated reflexes allow me to assess the situation in a fraction of an instant. It is time. But I still decide to wait and get a better look at the prey. A male Monkey, a pampered upper caste cub who has fed and equipped with the best their race can offer. I certainly arrived in the Dark City recently. The city which has not yet managed to leave a mark of perpetual expectation of doom on its flattened snout. The most glorious game which clings to life, the strongest, and leaves the sweetest death essence. The reflex urge the muscles to react. Blech. I was doing pretty good till this last bit. I act. The shard carbine spews forth a stream of crystalline projectiles that howl and scatter as they pierce the flesh of the prey. A deadly slashing blizzard drapes the street in bloody snow. The bodies of random passerbys caught in the fire falling to the ground. This is a common occurrence in the spires. Everyone around me flees from the field of death whose borders I have made clear. The prey falls, but it is still alive. I did not expect the hunt to end with the first salvo. The prey is badly injured. I can easily finish it off in the open. The prey... Ooh, only 50%. Summons companions to its aid. A mistake. I unleash a new fan of crystalline shards, and the flesh of the prey blossoms with new cuts from my projectiles. Anyone who tries to approach it will be killed by the brittle shrapnel. The prey could have run away, not giving me more chances to cripple it. The prey is weak. The prey is trying to locate me among the tangled of spire minuets. Its frantic gaze is looking for my winged figure. The hyper pupils allow me to examine the prey's face. I can see its eyes scrutinize my gear. There is no need to hide anymore, so I stand up to my full height and emit a wailing battle cry. Let the prey know that I will kill it. The prey breaks into a run, because that's our only option. Clever. By escaping from the open streets, the prey has deprived me of the advantage of my long-range weapon. But I will not let it escape. So I spread my wings and soar over the alley, pelting the prey with bursts of indirect fire. The chase must not end too soon. The petitioner wanted the prey to die slowly. The prey... 60, 40. Ugh. Well, I guess we go with the 60% on the toughness. I didn't realize my agility was as high as my toughness. Flees down the most predictable and straightforward route, hoping that its strength does not abandon it. Perhaps the body of my prey was modified, or it simply bounds with vigor. Vigor. Even the heavy wounds inflicted by the first salvo cannot slow it down. I emit a frustrated shriek as I watch the path of my projectiles follow the prey without reaching its flesh. The hunt continues. The prey manages to elude me for the moment by ducking into a crowded street. The jet booster on my back emits a scream of ghostly blue flame, and I continue my pursuit. As I storm into the street, I see the prey again. This is a nice catch. The petitioner wanted me to deliver the prey to her, but I decide to do something different. When it is over, I will impale the body of the prey on a spike protruding from the highest spire, so that it serves as a testament of my victory. My flight is swift. Everything unnecessary and atavistic had been cut from my body so that air currents carry it like a projectile from a splinter rifle. Alas, this is also my weakness. I am so light, even a small obstacle can blow me off course, but the prey has no idea how vulnerable I am in flight. The initial horror caused by my sudden attack is already worn off. The prey has suppressed its panic and is acting decisively and boldly. A commendable triumph of will over instinct. Seeking to slow me down, the prey turns some bystanders against me. That's my highest. That's a high. Oh, only 45. Only 32 there. I guess we're going to turn some bystanders. It only takes the prey a couple of furious shouts to convince those huddled in the alleys that a monster is coming for their heads. Lies. I am only pursuing the prey. I am met with frantic gunfire and, after making a sharp ascent, I take a pair of plasma grenades from my belt and hurl them into the crowd. The bodies of the gullible fools who believed the prey evaporated and turned into a bloody mist. The luckier ones fire at me, and one of the shots brings me to the ground. I wail furiously and finish them off with pointed bursts from my subcarbine. To cast me down is an indelible insult. The conclusion is drawing closer. Well, that's kind of a gruesome picture of that guy. That's the winged guy we kept seeing everywhere. As I turn the corner, I triumphantly realize that I have driven the prey to a dead end. It is time for the massacre. The poison I received from the petitioner as payment for the hunt is contained in the crystalline projectiles and should have worked by now. It will slow down the nervous systems of the prey, weaken its muscles, and render it unconscious. Krauss test. Able to drink. But when I see the prey, I fail to discern any trace of the poison's effect. Could the prey be so strong that its body has overcome my deadly battle toxin? The prey... that's not too good. That's not too good. That's even worse. Alright, none of these are really good. It's like demolition is my best, but barely. Looks defenseless and I attack, failing to notice the trap it has laid out for me. Failed. I see a monofilament stretched between the walls. A primitive trap indeed. I fold my wings for a moment and tear it down with a blow from the muzzle of my subcarbine. Everything will be over in moments. The outcome will be decided in close combat. Wasting no time, my prey and I seize one another in a violent, furious embrace. Every decision made over the course of this fleeting hunt is being weighed, tipping the scale that will ultimately determine the winner. My inwebbed glands spew hyperadrenaline into my bloodstream, and my artificially grown muscles convulsively swell under the porous fabric of my ghost plate. I torment the prey with claws protruding from my forearms, knees, and the prey what does the prey do here? 100%. Alright, weapon skill. 100%. Medicae, 62. Toughness, 95. Well, it's going to be one of these top two. Grabs one of the blades hanging from my belt and aims it at my throat. We struggle for the blade, but its point steadily approaches my throat. It touches it. It pierces the skin extremely slowly and penetrates the larynx. It keeps plunging deeper, touches the other wall of the larynx and passes through. I can feel everything. My body softens with pain. My strength waning. I reach for the shard carbine and shoot the prey right in the face at point-blank range. The crystalline projectiles whiz within a hair's breadth of his face. A crushing blow turns my magnificent weapon to rubble with a mournful crunch. The prey grabs me by the throat, lifts me into the air and snarls. It wants to know why I attempted to kill it. Would I tell it if I could about my petitioner, Kikaros the Witch, but how insulted she was by the deaths of her fosterlings, the blood-stained proselytes in the arena at the hand of my prey, about how badly she wanted to spite the prey's master, the sour-tempered Harmoculus Terventius, who had arranged that insult. I do not know, for my throat is crushed, and only a faint wail escapes it. I die. I'm dying at the feet of my prey. No, at the feet of a Monkey. A humiliating end for one who earned the status of apex hunter of Kamarok through torturous altercations of my body, or my flesh, and a bloody pilgrimage to the very top of the spires. Does it hurt to perish like this? It does. Is it fair? It is. The chaotic burst of violence that bloodied the streets of Kamarok ends just as abruptly as it erupted. Such is life in the spires. Alright. Where the heck are we? We're all the way back over here. Alright, let's go this way.
Victory awaits.
There's that ugly beggar. Broken ribs, head trauma. We're messed up. I don't know how Abelard got broken ribs.
Any challenge for me?
Unless he's always had them and I just never noticed. That's possible. Homunculus promised he would let me assist him in his next experiment. Ulfar.
Oh, to see them cut down.
Singing softly under his breath, the man of enormous proportions is intently stripping raw meat from a bone with his teeth. His unwashed red hair is falling onto his face. His beard is matted and blood-stained, and the aforementioned teeth look more like fangs than any human equivalent. That looks very blood wolfy. Grey wolfy. A less knowledgeable person might not recognize this giant humanoid, but you are well aware that this is a space marine, an angel of the Emperor. The scar tattoos on his body, which at first appeared abstract and primitive, together form the angular image of a wolf's mouth with bared fangs. This person must be the genetic offspring of Leman Russ, the space wolves of Fenris. Fenris Hojolda Vlak.
Fenris Yolda, mortal. You know the old words. Good words. Strong as a rock. Sharp as the blade of a force axe. Deadly as a kraken's tooth.
This guy sounds like the guy that voiced the Troll King in their first game they did that I'm aware of. The Pathfinder game. Oh goodness gracious, Kingmaker. The red-haired giant's jaws stop their work. Emotions are hard to read on the crudely hewn face, but you think you have surprised him. The words are spoken in a guttural rasp of an invertebrate killer, wholly in keeping with the man's formidable appearance, but you did not expect him to slip into poetic epithets so readily.
What do you want?
Picking a piece of meat from between his teeth, the warrior resumes his murmured singing. Between the lines of his song, he tosses out. Study the man. The huge body with straggly, overgrown red hair perfectly suits the deep, chilling voice of this man, or of this beast in the guise of a man. Tribal scar-like tattoos cover his chest, arms, and back, and you glimpse intricate braids in his mass of unwashed hair. His body bears so many pale scars that you cannot count them all. The muscles bulge beneath his skin like boulders. He looks like a statue carved from stone. It is clear that captivity has sapped the prisoner of none of his physical power. Your assessment is confirmed when you spot the remains of a Drukhari in the pile of carrion at its feet, likely one of the Homunculus' servants. The Drukhari's flesh appears to be making a fine snack for your new acquaintance. Bleh. Listen closely to the song the prisoner is singing to himself. You do not know the language. The sound seems crude and mangled, but not entirely lacking the harsh dignity of a form of Gothic, while also sounding similar to the rumble of a landslide, sharp and choppy guttural phrases tumbling forth in a harsh rhythm. Let's see, what do we got? Only a 47% chance. I'd hate to upset him about that by trying and failing. What is the song about?
It is about starlight glittering in the blood of heroes. Snow marked by the footsteps of merciless hunters. The The Faisalin haze that hangs over corpses torn apart by scavengers. In a word, home.
A small warm smile touches his lips. It is beautiful.
Of course. The All-Father granted me the honor of tasting the mead of the Skjalds. I have composed 1,000 verses for my brothers. Verses of passion and pride, calls to battle. Verses that pierce the heart, and merry ones. Like the laugh of a madman who lost his sanity to a winter storm.
Who are you?
I am a wolf.
At first glance, the man does not strike you as possessing great intellect. He is clearly more accustomed to mauling and killing than thinking. But you detect a certain shrewdness in his eyes. After looking you over, he says shortly, "How did you come to be here?"
My pack answered the Inquisition's call and came to the Coronis Expanse. There was a battle, and then the young wolves yearning to be meat for their brotherlings. To a feast of bolters they went out roving. Though they were but few, one long fang with them went loping. Not to see them cut down by scythes and clean. The pups he sent scattering, and there stood alone the paths guarding. For a foe he long spied, one worthy among unworthy. The song of swords singing, they clashed with clamor and skill, until stood the old wolf upon the bones. Then, by the birds of battle, was he brought down. Was that clear enough? This saga sounds less interesting in prose.
I wish to know more about your brothers.
That butcher sent you to spy for him, did he? Or do they know nothing of the Emperor's Angels, the space wolves of Fenris, or the great Lehman Russ in your corner of the galaxy?
With a crooked smile, he narrows his eyes at you. Why does the Harmoculus keep you in a cage?
For his own safety. When I am not busy killing inhuman spawn in the arena, the Xenos fear my will.
The giant lets out a low growl that rings with the fury of a wild beast. We suffer the same fate. I was also captured by the Xenos, and they have forced me to kill for their entertainment.
But I sit in a cage while you roam freely around their city. They do not fear you. Maybe there is a reason for that. Maybe our fates are not the same at all.
He shrugs. Point at the piece of meat in his hand. Don't they feed you?
A predator does not eat only when it is hungry. There are many reasons to eat.
The warrior looks at you in mild surprise. Then, understanding, brings a crooked grin to his face. There must have been an answer for this bloody repast. For a moment, the vicious grin loses some of its sincerity, and the bloodthirsty prisoner casts an intense, scrutinizing look at your face, as if trying to read your thoughts. You must be planning to escape, yes?
And why do you want to know?
Because we want to help him. Well, we want his help. Why is it not an option? Grinning, the warrior runs his finger through his dirty hair, making himself look even wilder in the process. I have no more questions. Chewing, he wipes the blood from his mouth with the back of his hand. A warrior such as you could prove useful to me.
To get what you want, you will have to convince two very headstrong individuals. Me and my captor.
With narrowed eyes.
Claw-handed Xenos.
Ha! I jumped the gun. With narrowed eyes, he says weightily. Alright, step away from the cage. Bars of the cage are sturdy enough to stop a tank, or the fury of a post-human. Tervantius rushes about the laboratory, snatching up certain tools, vials, and notes. He conceals some of these items inside his own body cavities and destroys the rest. Did something happen? The cult of the fatal thirst craves blood, specimen. Your blood. My blood. One must be astoundingly insensitive to the vibrations of the Dark City not to realize this. Why do the witches desire my death? Because we killed their people. You humiliated them, Monkey. Kikaros and I agreed that she would send fresh meat against you, but she decided to undermine my authority by sending out her best. You slaughtered them, and so it was the cult's authority that suffered. But who cares about a pathetic Monkey? You are my lackey, and thus it is I who is responsible for undermining the cult's authority. You dispatched me to kill the witches, and you're telling me you did not anticipate such consequences? It was supposed to go differently. Your performance was supposed to be a lesson in respect, not a declaration of war. You would have killed someone unimportant and made the witches' vanity bleed. The witches would have received your head as a salve for their wounded pride. They would have been reminded for a time that I was still someone that could greatly complicate their existence. Instead, you have failed me, all of you. Kikaros did not keep her word, and you did not die in her trap. It is all your fault that things have spiraled out of control. So what's the plan? I will leave the anatomical opera and withdraw to the spire of the reaving tempest. The witches won't dare to settle their score under the eye of my patron, so the Cabal's valuable servant is safe from their ire. As for you, go out into the streets of the chasm and die, or go to the arena and try to kill Kikaros. Even if you succeed, you will still die. The Hermoculus mutters ferociously and haughtily. I should have stopped wasting time on this idiocy long ago, but those pathetic simpletons did not weaken my focus and distract me from my masterpiece. At last, I can devote all of myself to it. And so unravel the rotten threads in the tapestry of fate. Elentok, here is the true nature of the Dark Ones, a lie hidden behind sweet promises. Having learned from a cruel mistake, I foresaw this outcome. So I managed to bring about your downfall after all, unholy spawn. Tervantius's voice is filled with loathing. Your insight is astounding, specimen. But have you noticed that you have also doomed yourself? Tervantius becomes so absorbed in his thoughts that he starts shredding off pieces of his own flesh with his scissor-like claws. Enter the arena. The succubi will not pass up a chance to gut you in front of an audience. If you could simply wound Kikaros, it would give us both enough time to escape. For that, I would be willing to sacrifice the deadliest and most valuable specimen in my collection. If you manage to kill her, run. Sinistheoria will not let such impertinence go unpunished, and her wrath is 100-fold more dangerous than Kikaros's fury. Do not return to the chasm. You will find no shelter there. Seek salvation in other spires, and you may prolong your agony for a short time. Since you are intent in fleeing, you might as well release my companions. I cannot transport them to my new sanctuary. You may take them. I have unlocked the containment sarcophagi for dangerous specimens. Go and inspect them. Some of your servants may still be alive, but do not allow them to use their abilities until I have left the anatomical opera. I require your aid, Hermoculus. Tervantius arches an eyebrow. You forget yourself, specimen. Go and serve my will, and should I ever decide to show you favor, I will do it at the time of my choosing. My success benefits you. It is reasonable for you to help me. The Hermoculus waves you off in irritation. If you are unable to make yourself useful, I would rather wait for you to die and find myself a better tool. You should be worthy of my attention, not a drain on it. I see. It appears that you are of no use to me whatsoever. The Hermoculus does not react to your impudent remark, or, more accurately, he does not seem to listen at all. Alright, take my leave. With a wary sigh, the Hermoculus turns away from you, his knife-like fingers making an unnerving scraping sound. Alright, we had a couple things pop up here. So find her sarcophagus. And go back into the arena. Try to convince the Space Marine, Space Wolf to join us. Alright. Alright, so both of these went up. Okay. Let's go this way. Are y'all here? Yeah, we got a bunch of people just all bunched up into... Torture device is locked and sealed. Thick walls of this container were clearly designed to hold something extremely dangerous. Well. Ah, Lord Captain, help me, please.
I'm not injured. I'm enraged.
I feel. At last, I feel something. You see horror and confusion in Cassia's wide-open eyes. Her face, neck, and hands are gruesomely scratched, and sticky blood is dripping from the tips of her claw-like fingernails. Ah! Why are there so many of you at once? Red, black, violet, scarlet, yellow, dark maroon. Away with you! Stop swarming my thoughts! You're hammering us. Cassia clutches her head again, this time covering her third eye. But you can already feel the breath of the warp coming from its gaze. Ignatius, I cannot control it. The power flowing through Cassia's fragile body makes your head swim and your hair stand on end. Your body is burning as if you had been doused with a vat of molten plasteel, and your head is teeming with strange whispers, shadows, voices. Every breath is a struggle, as though something is scratching at your insides, trying to claw its way out of your chest. Your gorge rises. You have survived being exposed to the navigator's open eye. But will your body and mind hold it off if it occurs again? Take a pistol from the floor and shoot Cassia. No! Well, that one's pretty rough too. Only 65%, that's the problem. We're going to go ahead and do the dogmatic thing here. Soothe her with prayers. May the Emperor's radiance illuminate your way through the tenebrous gloom as we that are broken of hearts turn to his wisdom. Cassia struggles to focus her eyes on you. An unfamiliar expression is imprinted on her pale, gaunt face, one that is stern, confident, and imperious. It is the same expression you saw on Theodora von Valancius's face the first time you met her. And may his light scatter the darkness ahead, for the Astronomicon is the beacon and his guiding blessing to me. An eerie chill runs down the entire length of your body. It is a feeling you forgot, but recollection slowly follows. Someone else's turmoil and emotion, and a will that is not your own. This crushing wave is about to consume you. Willpower passed. A haze of anger, despair, and fear smother you like a burial shroud. But this is not the first time you have had to deal with a surge of foreign emotions assailing your mind. You wish you would die here and now. No, you wish you had never been born in the first place. You summon your will and push these thoughts away as though fending off a sword thrust, and Cassia's feelings dissipate before they can latch onto you. All right, back to the prayer. Oh, I didn't say the prayer. Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. We can scroll up here. The Emperor is with us so long as we remember our purpose, to serve humankind and to never give in to his enemies. With visible effort, Cassia clasps her hands in a gesture of prayer, and to believe in his might and his aid and his wisdom. And if we still have the strength to fight, then fight we shall to the end. Her pale brow Furrows and rivulets of blood run from her nose and eyes. Undeterred, she focuses on bringing her powers under control until her body jolts as if electrocuted. You know, when the darkness envelops you, it takes everything away, leaving no sounds, no smells, no solid footing. Darkness devours every color that tries to make its way in. Every color I tried to create inside. Darkness is withering. It swallows the colors. It chews and consumes. But when despair has overtaken me completely, I could sense I was not alone in that darkness. Someone else was with me. Someone intangible, cold, and colorless. And that realization ravaged my sanity all the more. When the capsule opened, my mind was drowned in grimy shades of crimson and umber and black and I am going mad, Ignatius. I used to think I could control this, but now you must end this, for the sake of my house, for my own safety, for me. Frigid heaviness hangs in the air. Your entire being implores you to run, quickly, now. Whatever happened to you, we can make it right. Put your trust in me. I wish I were half as confident and courageous as you, Lord Captain. A weak smile crosses Cassia's pale lips, and she shakes her head. Cassia closes her eyes, and the tremors in her body taper to a stop. With a wary movement of her hand, she adjusts her forehead adornment, taking care to cover her navigator's eye. And you no longer feel the menace that was emanating from her a moment ago. Thank you. Your words, they helped. I feel better already. Jeez. All three of those bottom ones are brutal. And now, may I escort you out of here? Glancing nervously at the Harmoculus's artifact, Cassia nods courteously. I would be honored, Lord Captain, if I may ask you to lead the way. All right, we have Cassia back. Okay, we got a little bit more searching here. Let's go look up. Oh, no. Okay. That was weird. Let's go explore up here real quick. Alright, let's see if we can convince the Space Marine to join us.
Follow my lead.
The red-haired giant does not stop singing under his breath and does not seem to notice you, intent as he is on your bloody repast. On his bloody repast. Okay, step away from the cage. I'm going to guess this switch... Oh, there are a bunch of switches. Okay, let's... The Harmoculus prom. Okay, yep. So one of these switches is probably going to free him, and one will probably hurt him. Don't know. Don't know. That appeared to do nothing. And he still doesn't care. Alright. Let's try switch. Alright, that didn't do much. Ah, there's more stuff over here. Oh, they're dead dudes. So we could run up here, check this area out. But there were some dead dudes. Then we got some loot back here. Alright.
It's about time.
He does not want to talk to us. Let's see.
I am a wolf.
How do we convince him to join us? Maybe we can't convince him right away.
None shall stand in my way.
Nope. Alright. Let's check out the other area we unlocked. We got this area in here too, huh? Let's go this way first. All right. No real conversations. What do we got here? Harmoculus Prism. Okay, it's just a thing. That's a thing. Increases range of attack distances by 1 cell. 10 agility and fellowship. Whenever the wearer's wounds would be decreased to 0 for the first time, they are restored to 50% of their maximum wounds. The bear has 8 or more action points at the start of their turn. They gain plus. Wow, that's. Let's collect all of that. Well, speaking of stuff, what's Cassia equipped with here? That looks like she's fully equipped with stuff, so. Well, this might be. What's her persuasion? 140. Commerce and Lore Imperium 106 and 136. But I think, man, that 140 is important. I think replacing this with the rosary beads would be a good thing. All right. Let's go to the other side.
Victory awaits.
Maybe we'll find something that we can convince the Space Wolf to join us with. Plus 30 armor, minus 20 penalties, so... Dodges an attack to become priority target. Stinger ring. Fires a stinger pod. 12 to 21, 100% armor penetration. Wow, that's pretty awesome. Start of the combat, the wearer inflicts bleeding on themselves. Whenever the wearer performs an area melee attack, they inflict bleeding on all those hit. Well, that's... no. We don't want that. The ring, on the other hand, might come in handy. I don't want to lose any of those. He's already got 2 digi-weapons. Let's give yearly at the extra range. Alright, well, I don't think we're going to get the Space Wolf to join us right away. Try one last time. Alright, we're going to go over here. We're going to head out, but we're going to call it right now. Thank you guys for watching. I do appreciate it. As always, like, subscribe, and comment. I have been Sir Joseph. You guys are amazing. Until next time, stay safe out there. And I'll talk to you later.